Good day, Mamel. I am Andrei Tubino and this is Group 13. I'm here to discuss the two glassware used in all chemistry. Number 1. Graduated cylinder. Also known as measuring cylinder or mixing cylinder is a common piece of laboratory equipment used to measure the volume of a liquid. It has a narrow cylindrical shape, each mark on length. The graduated cylinder represents the amount of the liquid that has been measured. Usually made ni siya sa glass or plastic, depende sa experiment. Yung common uses ani niya kay measuring liquid volumes accurately, transferring specific amounts of liquid, preparing solution in the lab, and used in experiment needing precise measurement. The second one, wash bottle, is a squish bottle with a nozzle used to reach various pieces of laboratory glassware such as test tube and round bottom glass. Wash bottles are sealed with a screw top lid. A wash bottle, usually made of polyethylene for easy squishing o pagpiga ani niya. Yung common uses ani niya kay rinsing lab equipment, beaker test tube or glass. O dayon pag-remove sa residues during filtration or titration experiment.
I am Kenneth Santiago, a second reporter for Group 13. So, Buchner flask. As a vacuum flask, filter flask, suction flask, sidearm flask, Kitasafa flask, or Vincent flask, looks like an Erlenmeyer flask with a short arm coming out of it. The arm is designed to connect the flask to vacuum source when sealed on the top with a stopper or a Buchner funnel. The vacuum flask will hold a reduced pressure. So, the use of Buchner flask is the vacuum filtration for separating solids from liquids using suction, and to reduce pressure applications used in chemical procedures requiring lower pressures, and microbiology and chemistry lab. Helps to speed filtration and drying of precipitates. Erlenmeyer flasks, also known as a conical flask or a titration flask, are used to contain liquids and for mixing, heating, cooling, incubation, filtration, storage, and other liquid handling processes. So, the common use of Erlenmeyer flasks is for mixing and storing solutions, for ideal for swirling without spilling. Heating liquids can be used over a Bunsen burner or hot plate. Filtration experiments to help control liquid movement while mixing. Microbiology applications used for culturing microorganisms in liquid media. Although there are differences, but the Buchner flask is built for vacuum use. The Erlenmeyer flask is for general lab tasks.
I am Vincent and I am the third presenter of the Group 13. I'll be discussing about the beaker equipment. Beaker is generally a cylindrical container with a flat bottom. Beakers are useful as a reaction container or to hold liquid or solid samples. They are also used to catch liquids from titration and filtrates from filtering operations. So basically, a beaker is a cylindrical and a flat bottom. It is used to hold liquid substance and also to measure its content. The next equipment is a funnel. Funnel is a tube or pipe that is wide at the top and narrow at the bottom, used for guiding liquid or powder into small opening. So a funnel is a tool that is used to transfer a substance or a liquid substance to another container.
I'm Mr. Reymart Redula, reporter Group 13. My report is all about glasswares used in all chemistry courses. First is test tubes, also known as a culture tube or sample tube. It's a common piece of laboratory glassware consisting of a finger-like length of glass or clear plastic tubing, open at the top and closed at the bottom. This is used to hold, mix, or heat small quantities of solid or liquid chemicals, especially for qualitative experiments, and essays. The round bottom and straight sides minimize mass loss when pouring, make them easier to clean, and allow convenient monitoring of the contents. A test tube is a cylindrical glass or plastic container, open at one end and closed at the other, used for holding, mixing, and heating small liquid samples, especially for qualitative experiments and essays. So the second is Watts glasses. Watts glasses are circular, slightly concave pieces of glass that are used to evaporate liquids. Watts glasses allow laboratory personnel to observe the formations of precipitates or crystals. So Watts glasses is made up of a concave piece of glass. It is normally used to hold solids, evaporate liquids, and heat small quantities of different substances as per the need of the experiment. Sometimes they also become functional in serving as a lid for the beaker. And that's all. Thank you.
Pork ring is made of molded agglomerated pork and has a concave base and beveled edge. It is used to hold round-bottom flasks, beakers, and other glass containers snugly to ensure against breakage. Laboratory pork rings are heat-resistant and therefore withstand very high temperature. It is made from a special type of pork that can handle heat. So fractioning column, also known as a fractional column, is an essential item used in the distillation of liquid mixture to separate the mixture into component parts or fractions based on the difference in volatilities. This device used to separate different liquids. When you heat a mixture, different liquids can turn into a gas at different temperature.
Hello classmates, Ma'am Dizon, and anyone who's watching right now. Today I am going to tackle the next part, which is the West condenser and separatory funnel. So what is West condenser? West condenser are a thinner version of the Liebig condenser with a cone and socket that allows for the increased flow rate of water to provide high cooling efficiency. West condensers are efficient at cooling because they have a narrow annualized space between the fused and coolant jacket and inner tube. So this is a fact that a West condenser is a piece of laboratory equipment used to cool and condense vapors during processes like distillation or flux. It's a type of water-cooled condenser characterized by its compact and efficient design. The West condenser consists of an inner tube where the vapor travels and a jacket around the inner tube where water circulates to cool the vapor. Its design allows for an increased flow rate of water, and the narrow annular space enhances heat exchange, making it highly efficient at cooling. It is similar to a Liebig condenser, but slimmer and more space efficient, making it a common choice in many lab setups. And next, the separatory funnel. Separatory funnel, also known as separation funnel, is used to separate immiscible liquids from their solutes. The funnel is usually glass pear shaped and usually includes a stopper and a stopcock. So, a separatory funnel is a laboratory tool commonly used in chemistry for separating immiscible liquids. By the way, immiscible liquids are liquids that do not mix together like oil and water. The separatory funnel allows you to isolate one liquid from another based on the differences in their densities. The funnel is typically pear-shaped and made of glass. It has a stopper at the top to close the opening and a stopcock at the bottom to control the flow of liquids. When two immiscible liquids are poured into the funnel, they naturally separate into layers, with the denser liquid settling at the bottom and the lighter one floating on top. By opening the stopcock, the denser liquid can be drained up carefully, leaving the lighter liquid in the funnel.
So this is the number 4 and the number 5 glassware commonly used in organic chemistry for conducting reactions and purifications. Number 5 is the separatory funnel. It is also known as a separation funnel is used to separate immiscible liquids from their solutes. The funnel is usually glass, pear-shaped, and usually includes a stopper and a stopcock. And the number 5 is the stopper, also known as a cork, or cylindrical or conical closure, used to seal a container, such as bottle, tube, and barrel. Unlike a lid, which encloses a container from the outside without displacing the inner volume. A bung is partially or wholly inserted inside the container to act as a seal. So, as we can say, a separatory funnel, it simply means a laboratory equipment used to separate two or more immiscible liquids of different densities. It's commonly used in various chemical processes such as liquid extraction or purifications or separations of mixtures. It is a typically consists of a cone-shaped container which has stopcock or valve at the bottom, allowing for the separation and collections of the different liquids. So it is understandable that the separatory funnel is the only one one glass that are going to be used, or the useful glass used to separate the liquids. So as we go to the stopper, as we move on, stopper is a laboratory equipment used to seal the opening of the container, such as a flask, beaker, or separatory funnel. So it simply means they are connected, or there are connections between the two, the funnel and the separation funnel and the stopper. So the the stopper in a laboratory is typically made of rubber, cork, and plastic. And the purpose of this equipment, or as we can say, useful equipment or something, it is to prevent contamination, reduce evaporation, maintain pressure, and ensure safe handling. So it means they are really connected, because if the liquid are not separated into funnel, they must be they don't have maintained pressure. They would be evaporated, or evaporation will happen in that situation. And stoppers come in various sizes and shapes to fit different types of container. So stoppers may be in different size, but because a lot of containers have different size. So there are a lot of stoppers that have different size just to fit the different types of container. That's all.
Three-way adapter, also called three-way connecting adapter or distilling head, is designed with three joints, one female joint at the top and two male joints at the sidearm and bottom. It is commonly used in the distillation apparatus for distillation. Three-way adapter is used in a broader range of application where flexibility in connecting multiple pieces of glassware or controlling gas flow is needed. In addition, a more general purpose is of this equipment that allows the connection of three components, enabling various types of gas flow or reaction condition to be maintained. Second, Claisen adapter is used to connect a round bottom flask to a condenser. It may also be used to accept a thermometer adapter for temperature measurement in a distillation. Glycine adapter allows for adding additional inlets or outlets to a single neck flask, enabling process like reflux and distillation with multiple connection such as condenser, thermometer, and additional fan without removing the condenser. Glycine adapter is specially designed for reaction that requires continuous reflux and condensation like a glycine condensation. Glycine adapter mainly used for maintaining a reflux during reaction, ensuring efficient condensation and preventing the loss of volatile components.
Vacuum adapter is used in a distillation setup. It connects to the lower and end of the condenser and serves to direct the distilled liquid into the serving flask. Ang vacuum adapter, muna ang giagian sa distilled liquid bagon sa serving flask. Kinahanglan siya kay kung wala ni ang distilled liquid, hindi siya kaabot sa serving flask. Ayun, mga duwa. Thermometer adapter consists of the ground glass joint and a rubber or neoprene fitting. The standard zipper joint fits into a glassware setup, while the fitting snugly holds a thermometer. Kining thermometer adapter, yung nasa duha ka silbi components. Ang usa ang ground glass joint, muna siya ang nakakonect sa flask o condenser. Ang rubber o neoprene fitting, muna silbi gagunit sa thermometer para di makaog. Ang importante aning thermometer adapter, kinahanglan siya para pagkuha sa sukod sa temperature.
Good day everyone. Today I'm going to discuss about the tools used in all chemistry courses. First is crucible tongue. Crucible tongue are scissor-like tools, but instead of having two blades, these tools are replaced with two pincers or pieces of metals that concave together, which allow the user to grasp a hot crucible, flask, evaporating dishes, or even small beakers. Second is the test tube holder. Test tube holder is used to hold test tubes. It is used for holding a test tube in place when the tube is hot or should not be touched. The third tool is a striker. Striker is used to start Bunsen burners. These sparks, when created in the presence of flammable gases such as propane, will start a fire or, for our purposes, a Bunsen burner. Forceps. Forceps are the tweezer in an organic chem laboratory. Forceps are used for any situation where you have to grab a small item and cannot do it with your fingers. Spatulas. Spatulas are small stainless steel utensils used for scraping, transferring, or applying powders and pastes like chemical or treatment. Many spatula brands are also resistant to acids, bases, heat, and solvent, which make them ideal for use with a wide range of compounds.
Good day everyone, especially to my meals. My topic for today is tools used in all chemistry courses. So sumpay na siya sa reporting ninyo. So magsugod ko sa number 6, scopula. A spatula-like scope utensil used primarily in chemistry lab settings to transfer solids, to a weight of paper for weighting, to a cover slip to measure melting point or a graduate cylinder, or to a watch glass from a flask or beaker through scraping. So ang scopula is gamay na siya nga spoon-shaped tool used in chemistry labs to transfer solid chemicals. It's essentially a mini shovel with a flat, slightly curved end and a handle. It's commonly made of stainless steel and used for scoping powders, crystals, or granulate substances. And number 7 is glass steering rod. So what is glass steering rod? Glass steering rod used for mixing liquids or solids and liquids. Steer rod are used as part of proper laboratory technique when decanting super supernatants because the contact helps to negate an adhesion between the side of a glassware and the supernatant that is responsible for the liquid running down the side. So ang glass steering rod is also known as a glass rod steering rod or steer rod, is a fundamental piece of laboratory equipment used primarily to mix chemicals in liquids. It's typically made of solid glass, resembling a slightly longer and thicker drinking straw with round ends. The rounded ends preventing scratching glassware, which could lead to cracks if heated later. And then number 8 is Pasteur pipette, also known as a dropper. It is a device used to transfer small quantities of liquids. They are used in the laboratory, also known to dispense small amounts of liquid medicine. Yan. Kuan na siya kato ang name after Louis Pasteur, who extensively used them in his research. These pipettes are inexpensive and widely available in glass or plastic, typically made of glass. Glass pipettes consist of a thin tube tapered of a narrow point, often fitted with a rubber bulb at the top. Plastic version of often molded as a single pieces, including the bulb. They hold approximately 1 millimeter of liquid, but precise measurements are not possible. They are not graduated. And number 9 is dropper bulb, attached to the Pasteur pipette. Dropper bulb is a flexible, usually rubber component attached to a pipette or dropper. It's used to create suction, drawing liquid into the pipette for controlled dispensing. So, gamit siya nga pang squeeze, insert, release, dispense. Ano siya. And my second topic is various equipment in the lab organic chemistry lab. So, number 1 is evaporating dish. What is evaporating dish? Evaporating dish is used to evaporate excess solvents, most commonly water, to produce a concentrated solution or a solid precipitate of the dissolved substances. Most are made of porcelain or borosilicate glass. And an evaporating dish is a piece of laboratory glassware typically made of porcelain or borosilicate glass used to evaporate solution and supernatant liquids to produce a concentrated solution or a solid precipitate. It's a shallow open container with a relatively flat bottom and often a pouring spout for easy transfer of a resulting substance. The shallow shape maximizes the surface area exposed to the air, accelerating evaporation. And number 2 is thin layer chromatography chamber or TLC, used in chromatography technique to separate non-volatile mixtures. Its primary function is to create a saturated atmosphere of the developing solvent, ensuring consistent and reproducible results. This is crucial because the solvent's vapor pressure affects the separation process. Purpose and function of the chambers is enclosed environment prevents the developing solvent from evaporating too quickly. Rapid evaporation would lead to uneven solvent migration on the TLC plate, resulting in poor separation and unreliable results. And last is number 3, Bachner funnel, used to filter liquids by pulling them through qualitative filter paper and perforations in the top of the funnel using a vacuum pump. A Bachner funnel is a piece of laboratory equipment used for vacuum filtration, a process that separates solids from liquids much faster than gravity filtration. It's typically made of porcelain, but glass and plastic version also exists. The funnel has a flat, perforated base or a fritted glass disc where a filter paper is placed. This sits above a flask connected to a vacuum source. These mixtures of solid and liquid is poured into the funnel. The vacuum pulls the liquid through the filter paper, leaving the solid behind. And that's it, my report for today. Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. I am discussing the clamps for securing the apparatus. First is extension clamps with or without vinyl sleeves. It is used for allow the placement of apparatus at various distances from the frame or rod. Next is three-fingered clamps, vinyl and fire resistant. It is to hold larger pieces of glassware and odd-shaped objects. Next is ring clamp or iron rings, holding rings while polishing or filling. Next is wire mesh or fire cage, used to support glassware like beakers or flasks during heating, distributing heat evenly and preventing direct contact with the flame.